In a cozy Russian town, pastry chef Anya and her boyfriend Zhenya, who works at a swimming pool and is obsessed with fitness, have a wonderful relationship. Anya had the look of a supermodel when they first met. But she started working in a bakery since then, and food became her addiction. She begins to noticeably gain weight over the course of the months, but Zhenya does not bring it up because he is aware that it is a delicate subject. Anya is invited to a wedding one day, and she is nervous when she looks in the mirror and sees how much her body has changed. The dresses she has don't fit, and some even rip when she tries them on. She tries on a lot of dresses before finding one that fits well, telling herself that no one will notice the difference. Even though Zhenya doesn't say anything, he does notice, and his face shows that he's not happy. Anya becomes even more anxious when she observes his reaction and recalls that all of Zhenya's fitness friends will be there as well. Anya admits that she doesn't want to go to the party and suggests a pizza and TV night instead. Zhenya lets her visit, however he needs to go in light of the fact that this is a dear companion, so he guarantees he'll simply give his discourse and return rapidly. Zhenya picks Anya up and puts her on the counter to hide his dislike, but when she tries to kiss him, he turns away, which upsets Anya. After Zhenya leaves, Anya gets into familiar garments and gauges herself. She decides today to only drink water after seeing the numbers rise to 76 kilos. However, she nonetheless prepares fried food. At the point when she checks her virtual entertainment, she tracks down photos of the wedding. All young ladies look flawlessly thin, and it causes her to feel terrible. To make matters even worse, there is a video of a girl kissing Zhenya on the cheek because he clearly stayed at the party. Anya gets angry and races to change to go to the wedding party, calling her dearest companion Natasha to get her. Even though Natasha sees that Anya has put on weight, she doesn't say anything about it. Instead, she thinks that Anya looks beautiful and tells her to love herself. Anya finds Zhenya dancing with the girl closer than they should be friends when she gets to the party. Anya immediately gets in between them out of jealousy and kisses Zhenya, causing the girl to flee. Zhenya is apparently irritated, however doesn't remark on it. After the dance, 2 or 3 takes a singe and Anya starts eating while at the same time inquiring as to why Zhenya was so near that young lady, yet he says it was a gathering dance. Zhenya finally admits that he no longer likes her because she has become a burden for him and that he has been considering breaking up with her all week because of her jealousy. Anya tries to hide her anger for the sake of the party by getting into an argument that is interrupted by the photographer and the newlyweds who want to say hello. However, the bride is destroyed when she wonders if Anya is pregnant. Anya was left in tears as Gia properly ended their relationship and fled. Anya passes on the party and takes the transport method for seeing her mother, not thinking often about crossing the wide open in those heels. Olga, her mother, is on a date at the time she arrives. Anya doesn't speak up until the man leaves because Olga wants her daughter and her boyfriend to get along. However, the situation is very awkward. Anya lets Olga know what occurred, and Olga brings up Anya isn't fat, she simply has thick bones, however this main aggravates Anya's state of mind. Even though Zhenya was a twat, Anya still misses him and stays at her mother's house that night. She can't stop looking at pictures of him because she still misses him. Additionally, she discovers an old picture of herself, which does not help her mood. Anya is invited to stay at Natasha's house, which she shares with her husband Dimas, the following day. It turns out Zhenya was here the previous evening to drop off Anya's things, so Anya acknowledges to take the bed on the gallery until she tracks down her own place. Anya also tries to be comforted by Natasha to help her forget and move on, but she just rants about her boyfriend and says she wants him back. Anya is able to tell Dimas that he is being nice out of compromise, so he tries to help by telling her that she is beautiful. However, this only makes the situation worse. Anya stays in bed for a long time, not having the option to adapt to her misery. One evening Natasha at long last has had enough and offers the narrative of a companion of hers that likewise got unloaded. That friend went to the gym instead of crying all day and lost all of her excess weight in a month. When the boyfriend saw her once more, he brought flowers to her office to beg her to take him back, but she told him to push those flowers up his end. Using the 1-week free trial offered by each city gym, you can accomplish all of this for nothing. Anya laughs for the first time in a long time when Dimas uses a bucket of water to interrupt their conversation and force her to wash. Sometime thereafter, Anya just drinks a glass of water and vows to attempt. Sadly, her first gym visit is a complete failure, she doesn't know how to use the equipment, so she keeps falling, which makes her very angry. She also feels pressure because everyone else is thin and doing well. She ends up eating a lot of fast food to console herself by the time she's finished. Natasha, who works at that establishment, observes this and reprimands her for her lack of commitment, throwing away her food before she finishes it. Anya must put in a lot of effort to be able to leave soon because Natasha has chosen this moment to tell her that she will soon be moving to Moscow. Anya wraps her bell in a special cream when she gets home because she was told it could help her lose weight. Anyway, while trusting that the stunt will work, she continues to eat unhealthy food. Natasha must stop her because her addiction is getting so bad that she wakes up in the middle of the night to get food from the fridge. It doesn't help that Anya works at a bakery. She tries to make up for the time she spends decorating by getting some exercise in the kitchen whenever she licks her fingers. For lunch she just has tea. She keeps herself under control the rest of the day by drinking a lot of water. However, the temptation is too great when she is left alone with the cake. Anya gives in after a lot of pacing and even breaking a shelf. She eats half of the cake on her own while crying. Anya searches for a self-help group that focuses on eating disorders after finally realizing how severe her problem has become. She is surprised to find that they are all women, with the exception of a boy named Kolya, at her first meeting. Anya gives them a fictitious name and states that she is only here as a journalist to write an article about eating disorders and that she does not have a problem. There is a disagreement over which game has a nicer sound because the group members don't like being called gluttons and using those words. Unexpectedly Kolya gets down on them, it is fat to express everybody here including himself. Additionally, he makes a direct remark about Anya's weight, prompting her to act as if she had received a call and leaving the meeting in disgrace. In his car, Kolya follows her, pointing out that she is denying her problem and telling lies. He additionally welcomes her to eat together, however Anya turns him down. After that, Anya goes to a restaurant, where Kolya also finds her. He then proposes to sponsor each other's fitness while he complains about sugar and throws away her juice. In the event that they keep each other responsible, they'll have the option to work out each day and find daily encouragement while they're having allurements. Kolya gives Anya his phone number and asks her to call him, despite her doubts. At the point when she gets back, Anya looks Kolya into via online entertainment and notification how hard he's functioning. Kolya invites Anya for a run when he shows up at Natasha's house the following day. Even though Anya doesn't want to, Natasha tells her to. During their initial not many days, Anya is humiliated to be seen with Kolya and doesn't have any desire to practice a lot. Anyway, Kolya doesn't abandon her, and over the long haul, Anya figures out how to rely upon him. He is actually a very nice guy, and it is very inspiring to see him not be embarrassed by his own body. Before each meal, Kolya and Anya are there for each other to offer support and understanding, making the process of losing weight less frightening and frustrating. They become very close friends. They start exercising regularly and even participate in marathons. Anya starts keeping track of the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates she consumes to improve her diet after learning that people are obsessed with food and want to feed them every day. Additionally, she brings healthy lunches to work and frequently quarrels with Olga regarding food. Anya begins to lose weight and regain her confidence as a result of all of this hard work. However, Anya's self-esteem is frequently undermined whenever she is surrounded by thin girls, particularly at pool parties. Kolya never gives up on her and reassures her whenever this happens by teaching her to scream to relieve stress and revealing his secret lakeside spot. However, one thing hasn't changed, Kolya is envious of Anya because she still wants Janya back, even to the point of commenting on Janya's social media accounts. Natasha is also having trouble because, for work, she keeps talking to people from Moscow. Demas doesn't like that, so he keeps thinking of ways to stop the move. Following a month and a half, Anya has lost sufficient load to feel sure and visit Janya. She pretends to meet him by accident when she goes to the swimming pool where he works. Janya can't believe what he's seeing. They start talking as if nothing had ever happened, and they play in the water like nothing had happened. They have a magnificent evening together until the young lady from the wedding appears and Anya is crushed to hear she's dating Janya. Anya breaks her routine as a result of yet another heartbreak and spends the night drinking and partying to forget. She leaves with a man who takes an interest in her. The following day, Anya awakens in an unusual bed, yet it turns out this is Kolya's place and he swears nothing occurred between them. Anya tries to recall that she almost went home last night with a stranger, but Kolya got there just in time to save her because the guy was wrong to take advantage of a drunk woman. He was hit in the face by this. Anya spent the entire journey complaining about Janya and her father's disappearance on the way home. Kolya now believes that Anya is hungry because she feels empty because her father left her when she was young. She also wants Janya's approval because she wants a nasty man to want her back. Anya goes back to her mother to inquire about her dad's number in order to put this theory to the test. Even though she thinks it's a bad idea because that man hurt them both, Olga gives it to her. Anya calls her father, and after an awkward exchange, he agrees to provide her with his address so she can visit him. Then, at that point, Anya thoroughly searches in the drawers for the coat her father gifted her before he left. Even though Anya doesn't like the idea very much, Anya asks Kolya to drive her to her father's house. Kolya agrees if Anya goes to support him at his next race. They stop to take a lot of selfies and have some fun because it's a long journey. Anya always pushes Kolya away when he tries to wrap his arm around her seat. At the point when they show up at their objective, Anya at last meets her dad Sergey and finds he's living with a lady. Discussion during lunch is very off-kilter, and when they have a second alone, Anya asks why her father wasn't essential for her life. Sergey immediately makes the observation that Anya dissuaded him from coming to her for her birthday by pointing her finger through the window. Anya gives him the jacket and talks about how they used to dance together. However, Sergey thinks that Anya is trying to make him look like a clown, so she leaves the table. Later, Anya drops a candle by accident, which starts a fire that engulfs the house and even burns her back. Kolya immediately assists her, but Sergey yells at her for ruining everything rather than worrying about her daughter's injuries. Kolya appears to defend her, but Annie chooses to return home. The return journey is hushed and awkward. She gives him a recompense kiss on the nose when Kolya drops Anya off at Olga's house. Kolya is in a fantastic mood throughout the day because he believes his flirting has finally paid off. He even traded his watch for flowers for Anya. Later, Janya pays Anya a visit and presents her with flowers as a token of her apology for everything. Anya is as yet feeble to his charms and they wind up getting lively. Kolya arrives with his own flowers while they are busy, but he sees them through the window and decides to leave to tend to his broken heart. Janya says that breaking up was good because it inspired Anya to lose weight after their fun times are over. Because of this, Anya comes to the realization that Jinya hasn't changed and that being with him would require her to live in constant fear of her own body breaking up another relationship. Hurt yet resolved not to go through this once more, Anya throws Jinya out. Afterward, Olga declares she's getting hitched, and Anya cries since she can't be blissful like her. Anya goes to Natasha's house to attend a party in the evening. Natasha wants to talk about her problems, but Anya doesn't want to listen because she has her own issues. Anya accidentally drops the pipe over the balcony when one of the partygoers suddenly gives her a pipe to hide with. The pipe ends up on top of a police car. Natasha bribes a police officer who comes to the apartment to arrest them for illegal smoking. Dima sees that as a warning sign that she shouldn't leave because that was the last savings she had to go to Moscow. Natasha yells at Natasha when she tries to help during an argument about their hopes for the future. Natasha is sick of being the one who has to take care of Anya, who has always sought her assistance but has never reciprocated. Anya leaves to visit Kolya at the secret lake location in search of his support and comfort as Natasha and Dimas continue to fight. However, Kolya is enraged and hurls an apple at her, stating that no one will love her if she does not love herself. Additionally, he terminates their sponsorship and advises her to find a new fat friend. Anya is forced to flee in tears as a group of vicious men surround her with their bikes after Kolya leaves. In the midst of the week camp, she finally falls asleep. Anya learns that Olga's boyfriend has a drinking problem when he saves her the next morning just in time to avoid being run over by a harvester. After that, Anya goes to see Natasha, but the door is locked. She sneaks into Natasha's house by climbing through his window after a neighbor hears her. Anya offers her an apology for being an awful friend and encourages her to travel to Moscow because she is deserving of it. As a way to say goodbye, the girls spend their final afternoon together. Later, Anya surprises Olga by demonstrating that she accepts her future marriage. She assists Olga's boyfriend in burning all of his alcohol. Anya receives an apology from Sergei the following day for not making an effort to be more involved in her life. He dances with her like they did when she was a kid to show that he cares. Anya accepts to reconcile with him because the memory touches her. Whenever Sergei gets some information about Kolya, Anya makes sense of what occurred, and Sergei brings up that on the off chance that they can make up, she can do likewise with her companion. Anya requests that Sergei drive him to the long-distance race and tracks down Kolya going to defy the guidelines to drink some pop. Anya quickly removes it and turns into the severe however caring backer he really wants, and calls attention to no one loves themselves as Kolya does, so he ought to see himself as the motivation he is. After enduring a lot of pain, the two end up running the marathon together. Kolya is really glad to such an extent that he can't resist the urge to kiss Anya to celebrate. Anya wouldn't fret since she's figured out how to see the value in the sort of glad bliss Kolya has in his day-to-day existence.